Yo, what's good everybody? In today's video, I'll be giving you guys some tips on how to build Druid. So if you have a level 20 Druid, I recommend going for the Heirloom Lightning Staff and an Heirloom Will Necklace with the Divine Crown as your third. The reason why I recommend that is because you don't need as much intelligence as you may think. Once you hit level 20, you get extra intelligence as your base. So you see here, I have 30 base intelligence. Then I have 40 with the lightning staff. And then I add on 6 intelligence from my necklace. And then I will get my first threshold hit. In level 1 Druid, you want to have an intelligence necklace and an intelligence ring, just because you won't have enough base stats to hit that threshold, including the gear. But if you're level 20, then this is all you need to hit intelligence. And then the next thing I recommend is actually going for a will ring, so you can hit your next threshold, which is you can have 2 treants up at the same time. The first is intelligence at 44, which gives you 100% uptime on treant, making it the cooldown reduced to 30. If you didn't know, treants last for 30 seconds if they are not destroyed, and you can have 2 up for 30 seconds, or depending on how much cooldown you have with this will threshold. The next thing I recommend going for is your stamina threshold. The reason why I recommend stamina is just to have 150 shield. You don't really need the dexterity. If you prefer the wall hacks, quote unquote, then you can have that plus the move speed. In solos, I would probably recommend it, but in team-based games, you don't need the dexterity in wall hacks. It also recently got nerfed this morning, so there's only 3 seconds of wall hacks, and then there's a 5-second cooldown on it, and it is not as strong as it once was. But you also lose move speed, so it can be a little bit more necessary regardless, just to get that dexterity threshold. Then stamina, you only need a couple points. I believe it's 17 points. It's not priority, but if it's your third priority, number 1 priority is intelligence, and then will, then you can do whatever, either dex or stamina, depending on your personal preference. For your heirlooms, I recommend adding max damage stacks on kill, max life stacks on kill, and then for your set bonus, you can have whatever you want. Tiny Torment is pretty easy to hit if you have 2 pieces with Tiny Torment on, so you can have your moon pendant and your helmet if you feel like it. I personally run the will necklace, so I don't get the set bonus, but if you run those 2, you can. The reason why I want the will necklace is because you can easily hit the threshold for the 45 with those 2 pieces, and the staff, I just have max damage stacks on kill and max life stacks on kill. So that's pretty much it for what I recommend to build on Druid. Another quick tip is, if you guys don't know how Druid works, once you put a treant down, it'll attack. As soon as it attacks, if you jump in Panther form on top of someone and hit them, and if they are in the range of your treant, it will attack immediately afterwards. So a combo when you first engage somebody would be to charge up your mace. I recommend the mace over the dagger because it has higher damage, and it also is easier to hit the slow. Depending on the elevation, it can be a little bit harder, but overall it's easier to hit the mace slow. If you guys don't want to hit the mace slow, or if you're more comfortable using Thunderclap, which I probably would recommend over the mace slow, this is if you don't have gear, mace slow will work just fine. But if you have gear and can afford it, Thunderclap flasks are very valuable. I would throw a Thunderclap flask on top of them, and then put a treant down, and then put a lightning strike on top of them. You could put 2 depending on if they're still slowed or not. And then you want to go into Panther form and wait for your treant to attack. It should attack by the time you do that full combo. and then you jump on them as soon as it attacks, and it'll reset your treant and it'll attack once again. And then you can either DPS race them if they're a squishy class, or if they have a long sword, then you most likely will want to watch out for the parry, because it will do a lot of damage to you. But that's a quick little tip for combos with Druid. Most classes you should be able to burst them pretty fast with that combo. You can also wait a couple seconds and wait for 2 treants, and depending on what direction they run to, or if they are still slowed, you can use that burst damage to probably, if they don't block it, deal with Death Knights fighters and Sword Masters as well. But that is a quick tips for how to build Druid. I will be having some gameplay montage potentially, and breaking down some fights live, and if you guys would like to see that type of content, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate y'all for watching this video. I hope these tips help, and I hope to see you guys in the next one very soon, and I'm out. Peace.